Good morning, Manna family. I'm glad to be in your ears this week on Morning Manna. This week we will be talking about living lives surrendered to God. My hope and prayer leading into this is that there will be some real practical things you can grab onto to help in this, but also a greater understanding of what it is Jesus is asking us to do, really the extent of the call on the life of every believer. So let's jump in. To really enter into all that God has for us, we must lay our lives down completely. All that God has for us is found in a life of total surrender to Him, allowing Him to author our lives. We simply get to follow. Therefore, I want us to really recognize that entering into all that God has for us, it's contested space. The enemy of our souls does not want us to be devoted to Christ. He does not want us to worship the one true God, but instead, He Himself wants to be worshiped. And though we live in the world, we're not meant to be of the world, and therefore we have battles to face. We will face persecution from others. We will face our own flesh, the desires of our eyes, and the pride of life, and all the while the enemy is playing on the tendencies of fallen man. But there's good news for those who believe, those who have been born again. We have entered into new life through Christ. The old man has passed away and the new has come, and as a result, sin nor death has a hold on us any longer. This is what is true. Now, that doesn't mean we don't have a fight, because we do. It's more about what is our fight, and then how do we fight. See, when we see our attention and our affection and really our lives being fought for, we've got to learn how to fight well. Now, there's a handout available we have through the Manna app called Advancing the Kingdom, and it gives some principles for spiritual warfare, and I think it's a very helpful thing, and that really leads me into my first point. I think first we have to recognize that we don't battle against flesh and blood, but against powers and principalities of the air. Now, this tells us that prayer is really important, and that walking in the authority given in Christ plays a major role in our fight to live the life God has for us, therein to live totally surrendered lives. And second, this means we can't live complacent lives. We have to believe and walk into the promises that God has for us, really entering into that as His Word instructs. Otherwise, we're going to miss out. So we must train for godliness and study to show ourselves approved. This is how we're able to combat the lies of the enemy. Really the lies that the enemy will use against us. Now, third, our primary calling is to be with God. It is that good fight of faith that God tells us about in His Word. It is keeping faith and living out the faith so that we can be and then do what He has called us to do. It is really fighting to be with God, to fight for oneness with Him. Now, tomorrow we're going to dive into what the good fight of faith looks like and how we can fight this battle, and that is being rooted in our faith. That's the battle that we want to fight. Good fight of faith. That's what we'll discuss tomorrow. Look forward to seeing you there.